So how can you make your care home famous for the weekend or a day during the week? This video is going to be talking exactly about that, and that's famous for a very, very positive reason. Now, I know how important community engagement is as a strategy for your care homes to help ultimately get the word out there and to, as part of perhaps your community marketing strategy, and ultimately to help you get more inquiries. And what I'm going to be focusing on today is a celebrity event. Yes, a celebrity event. Really to put your home on the map and to become famous. So, here is what I mean by this as an example. Eric Knowles, for example, he is a fine art and antiques auctioneer and an expert. Eric is on the team of the BBC Bargain Hunt, and also as is another antiques evaluator called Charles Hanson, both for the BBC. And what they do is they come and do antiques valuations at your care homes. So what you've got here is a situation whereby you have an attraction, a celebrity attraction, who's right for your demographic of people who you might be most interested in coming to your home, and you can have a special event where you have exclusive invitations, and I'll come to that in a moment. But what you've got here, as I say, is an attraction, and it just so happens that in this case this antiques evaluation happens at your care home. So it's a really good, powerful community event, and I'm going to go through on this video about examples of how it's worked and the results for other care homes who have done this, and give you ideas and a bit of a blueprint on how you can do it for yourself. And just to give you an idea of what the invitations may look like that you will be distributing. So here we go. This one was for a care home, you can see where my cursor is, in Mill Hill in London. And it was, yes, to meet Eric Knowles. And there is the invitation. Now this is the invitation that we sent out. And there is a nice photo of the manager, of course, because the invitation comes from the manager. And here is another example. Again, Charles Hanson, also BBC Antiques celeb, who again does evaluations of antiques at care homes, and they're great, and they really know what they're doing. They really orchestrate the day extremely well, and as I said, you can make a big song and dance about this for your care homes. Now, just a quick summary is that this is a celebrity event that if you do, I promise you no other care homes in your catchment area will be doing it. So again, it's going to stand you out significantly. Commissioners will love it for sure, the public will love it, and the QCQC will love it, because it's a really special event, example of engagement for your residents as well, and an activity, a real standout activity. So effectively your home is going to become a big draw for the day, whether you hold it during the week or during the weekend. So I want to show you some real life results for a care home. The care home actually was the one I showed you before in Mill Hill, London. They wanted, and again I'll come to it in a moment, this idea of how many guests would you like to attend. Now, the important thing to remember is when you are planning this event, you really want to think about how many guests you would like to attend from your community. Again, I'll come on to this in a bit later in this video. That excludes family members, because the family members are residents and residents themselves. What I mean is, yes, they will attend for sure, but the aim here ultimately of this event is to attract interest and visitors from people who maybe do not already know about the home already, and you want to invite them in with a special invitation, or you already know and you want to solidify that relationship. So for this event, commissioners and elderly charity groups and stakeholders, they all attended, which was important for this particular home. Now, actually, after the Age UK representatives representatives from Age UK who attended. They solidified their relationship with the home and were actually looking to host events with the home after attending this event, this evaluation. It was with Eric Knowles. So again, it's about solidifying this relationship with important stakeholders, influencers within your community. Now, one of the charities that came again to this event, they wanted to collaborate on fundraisers with the home. So again, just solidifying this community relationship, that community relationships with the home. In fact, one of the vicars from the local church attended and liked the home so much during the antiques evaluation that he actually had a look around at the home for his mum. So that was a nice little anecdote. And what you also can get from this kind of event is bags of video testimonials. How do you do that? Well, someone goes around the event with a smartphone and asks everyone, well, what do you think of the day? What do you think of the event? And what do you think of the care home? And I promise you, everyone is in such a good mood and feeling uplifted by the events that you're going to get positive testimonials. And they'll all be there on a smartphone, and no reason why you can't get 10 plus positive testimonials, including from these stakeholders, e.g. commissioners. And if you can get video testimonials, that's really, really as good as it gets for testimonials. Now, as I said, this was an exclusive event, exclusive activity, so for sure it would have impressed the CQC. Plus, there was some positive PR and press coverage from the event, and I think I have a photo of it here. No, not here, but in fact, on the previous slide, which I showed you, you saw the positive press coverage. Well, in fact, there it is, as you can see. Here's some nice photos. This wasn't for the one in fact, no, this wasn't for the one in London. It was a different event. But again, featuring Eric Knowles, and it was outside, and just gives you a bit of a glimpse into the feel of the day. So I just want to go through now some of the logistics, if you like, when it comes to arranging this kind of event. And as we've done it, just some pointers for you to take and to learn from. And sequentially, obviously, the most important thing is to get it all booked and get transport arrangements made and briefings for the celebrity. As I said, it doesn't have to be any of the people I've mentioned here, but I can tell you if you phone them today, they would be very, very willing to come over and do the evaluation at your home. If you want to DM me separately, I'm happy to tell you what the price is, but otherwise I will leave that to you. Now, very, very important is that when you are having this kind of event, and it's not necessarily an event open to the general public, it's more like an exclusive invitation-only event. In that way, you really have control over who you would like to attend. And also because, let's go back to the aim of this, which ultimately is to get people to visit the home who you feel would be important and valuable for them to visit the home, particularly these stakeholders, as I've mentioned, and what I call influencers within the community for your care home. So that email list is very important, and here is an example of who may be on that email list. As you can see here, everyone from MPs, community groups, councillors, solicitors, places of worship, commissioners, golf clubs, women's antique institutes, Rotary clubs, golf and tennis and bowl clubs, all those kinds of organisations, discharge nurses and contacts at hospitals. So these are the individuals who could be on that email list. And important point to remember is, let's say you wanted for 40 people to attend from your invitation list. You have to really think about 1 in 10 will actually say yes. So if you want 40 to attend, you've got to invite 400. Yeah? And I'll come on to this in a moment, but you are actually going to have to follow up with that 400. So I'm saying here there is a degree of hard work involved, which I'm sure you're not adverse to. So essentially, you send those invitations via email, exclusive email. So once you've got those email addresses, you are sending a nicely written email invitation with perhaps an attachment of the flyer for the event from one of the slides I showed you earlier, and it's addressed to them individually. So it's dear Adam, blah blah blah, best wishes, let us know whether you can attend or not, best wishes, Michelle, care home manager at. So it's a very personalised email invitation. This is key, absolutely key. This is not an email blast, it's exclusive invitations via email. And you then need to follow up. And that's following up via email and phone. And that can be a number of follow-ups. You're going to send out these invitations. Most of the time, you will not get a response. That's normal. But the wins and the gains are in the follow-up, which is why you must do it. And there's ways and strategies on that follow-up, and that is a skill in its own right, but you need to do it via phone and email, and you really need to encourage a yes or a no. This is an exclusive invitation to that individual, and most people do understand that you need to know numbers for the events, so really encourage them just to give you a yes or a no. In that way, you're going to get that yes or no, and it's going to be very easy for you to keep a record of numbers. Now, by the way, let's say you have 40 who accept your invitation. You can expect up to a 10% dropout. So out of that 40 who say yes, expect 4 just not to turn up. If you're lucky, maybe less than that, but definitely do expect that. Now, for those guests who have agreed to attend, that's fabulous. You will then send them official invitations and directions. Just to double down on the fact that they've confirmed, you can always ask if they want to bring a guest. In fact, I would recommend that. Ask if they would like to bring a guest. That will increase your numbers. And what I would also recommend is that for the people who have accepted the invitation, you perhaps put into a CRM such as MailChimp, and then a few days before the event, send them all an email saying you're looking forward to them attending, if they've got any final questions, maybe a final detail or two about parking. So in that way, although they are a MailChimp or an email system, it's still personalised to them with their name, but these are people who've already said yes, so it's not so much of an issue to have them in an email system such as MailChimp. So yes, and again, I would recommend, and you can again do this by email for those who have said that they would attend, just double check with them ahead of the day, just to ensure that you've got complete knowledge of there being any dropouts to the event. And then, of course, very, very important, because you will be wanting to get as much promotion from this event as possible. So make sure you're clear on who's taking photographs, perhaps a videographer. And, if you're doing this in the summer, you may want to think about a marquee. So these are kind of some of the logistics that you need to be thinking about. Obviously check the foods and how that's all being organised within the home, parking and other logistics. So if you do all of that and do it systematically with some decent planning, yes, as I said, you're going to be having a special event at your home with a celebrity, and just one other way to make your care home stand out and be extra special. So if you like this video, please make sure you subscribe. We help care homes get more inquiries about PR and marketing. I'm Adam James, and if you subscribe to this channel, you will not miss any other videos like this. Thank you.